Scott Petty has made a move from Sacramento to New York. He'll sign a 5-year deal with the Knicks to be the team's new GM. He was previously the VP of basketball operations for the Sacramento Kings. Spurs free agent Jonathan Simmons has agreed on a 3-year deal with the Orlando Magic. That's according to the Vertical. At Wimbledon today.
Second serve, out wide, Burdick. Nets with the forehand return. Federer puts both hands into the air. 7-6. His march towards an 8th Wimbledon title continues.
He rushed out to an early lead and never looked back. Straight set, 7-6, 7-6, 6-4. His opponent will be Marin Cilic. Cilic defeated American Sam Querrey 3-1. In Major League Baseball, Red Sox have designated Pablo Sandoval for assignment. Team still owes him $49 million. I'm David Gascon.
We are Baltimore. It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set, just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
Finally, Clemson Sports Talk has come back to Columbia. Hello, everybody. Lawton Swan back at it once again here. 316 Greystone Boulevard. Fast-paced, action-packed, hurry-up and no-huddle sports talk programming for you. Fox Sports Radio 1400 in the Midlands. Heard around the world on the iHeart radio application. Download it today. It is free. The Clemson Sports Talk app also free. And don't forget about the fact that we have relaunched our website. We still have a ways to go in what we want to do over there on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. But we are bringing you all the latest news. Of course, Zach Lentz now doing some writing for us, and Lowell the intern taking care of us yesterday as we were up at the ACC kickoff for day 1. Made my way up again to Charlotte for day 2. Had a chance to sit down with several people from the Coastal Division of the Atlantic Coast Conference. And, you know, in all honesty, what an event. I can't tell you just how good of an event it was. I know that the SEC's media days have more members of the media credentialed. They have more people on Radio Row. And perhaps for many years they have much more interest and may still very well have more interest nationally than the ACC. And I haven't been to the SEC's media days, but I can tell you the 2 days in Charlotte with the ACC kickoff, from just the hotel at the West End there in uptown Charlotte to the food, everything was just so well done and impressive. The worst part of it was trying to get out of the parking garage, which, if the West End has a problem, that's it. The directions to get out of there, there were times I thought I was going in circles. I wasn't sure if I was going to get out at some points. I realistically thought I was trapped. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832 is the number. The hashtag on Twitter is CST Show. And again, you can follow the program at Clemson Sports. Follow me at CST Show. What was the big takeaway? What was the big thing for me after a couple of days up in Charlotte taking a look at this conference? That's the thing that I think, you know, is most interesting. I don't know that there's any doubt among anybody that Florida State is the odds-on favorite to win the conference. I don't think that there's any doubt that the majority of the media members assembled feel like Florida State is going to be the team to beat. Now, I cast my ballot, and we'll see how the chips fall. But in terms of who is being hunted, it is interesting that the team who is projected by many to be one of the top 2 teams in college football this coming season, along with Alabama, the Florida State Seminoles, are not necessarily the hunted. The vibe that I picked up from the student athletes that I had a chance to interview, from the coaches that I had a chance to talk to, And this is what happens when you win a national championship. This is what happens when you've made back-to-back appearances in the national championship game. You are now the team everybody is gunning for. You are now the team that everybody wants to take their best shot. So in 2 days, what I learned most about the Atlantic Coast Conference heading into 2017 is that the belief amongst the majority is that Florida State is the best team, but that Clemson is the team everybody wants to beat. And that's a unique dynamic, because I don't know if that exists right now anywhere else in college football. In the SEC, the team to beat this year and the favorite is Alabama. In the Big Ten, the team to beat this year and the favorite is Ohio State. In the Pac-12, the team to beat this year and the favorite, I believe, will be Oklahoma. Now, out in the Pac-12, there's where you do have a real mix, and you might have that exist. Southern Cal is probably always the team to beat, just given their track record of success. And they may or may not be the favorite for some people, but many will believe that the men of Troy will be the favorite as well. But in the Atlantic Coast Conference, many people think it's going to be the Florida State Seminoles, but Clemson's the team everybody's gunning for. And no matter who you talk to, no matter what the conversations were, Clemson's defensive line seemingly was the thing that was most mentioned. Now, we'll have audio coming up here on the program for you in a little bit from Dabo Swinney. That'll be in hour number 2 of the program. We'll do that at the top of the hour number 2. I also had a chance to talk with Bill Hancock. He is the executive director of the College Football Playoff. And we've had Bill on the program the first year we were on the air. By the way, tomorrow, July the 15th, is our anniversary here on Fox Sports Radio 1400 in the iHeart Radio app. We will not be on the air on Saturday for the Swannies. We'll bring those to you on Monday. We'll have our annual Swanee Awards. I've got T-shirts that I have to give away over on our chat on Slack, which you can join by going to ClemsonSportsTalk.com, clicking on Join the Conversation. And we will absolutely do that for you coming up here, I guess, at some point this evening. I have been up and down the highways. I have been on the phone. I have interviewed. I am as tired as I have been in a long time. It was great. It was fun. Zach Lentz was on the ground. You can follow him at Zach Lentz, CST. But your boy Swanee needs to recharge the batteries a little bit. And I know I just had my getaway not that long ago, but I am a little bit tired. 803-978-1832 if you want to comment on any news coming out of the ACC kickoff, if you want to comment on how the Atlantic Coast Conference presented itself, which was quite impressive. I mean, they had all the stats out there. They are selling their product as being top of the mark, the best conference in college football. The talking points were there. It was clear that John Swofford had sat down. It was pretty clear that John Swofford had handed out notes. I felt like in some respects that the coaches were a collection of 14 eager students ready to learn, and the professor had delivered the content to them. Because every time you ask a coach a certain question about this league or the ACC or how it was perceived nationally, the talking points were delivered. It was the old, okay, students, today we're going to teach you how to remember the planets. All right, so we're going to teach you, my very educated mother just served us 9 pickles or potatoes or whatever your teacher taught you that helped you remember it. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, blah, 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 blah. Now, do we count Pluto anymore? I don't know. I have no idea what we do with Pluto. I'm kind of lost, but What I do know is the talking points were picked up on. Now, one of the great things as well about the Atlantic Coast Conference's kickoff there in Charlotte was a chance for me to talk to some of the biggest names in our sport, some of the biggest people involved in college football. And one of those that I had a chance to speak to was Executive Director Bill Hancock. And here's our audio from that interview.
Hey, Lawton, it's always good to see you.
Man, I tell you what, it's an incredible run that you guys have had now heading into the fourth season of the college football playoff. You've seen Alabama get there 3 times. You've seen Clemson get in it a couple of times. And, you know, there are people out there that will say, man, we got to spread the wealth. We got to spread the wealth. But the more you look at it, this 4-team playoff has been spectacular.
Well, you know, all we have to worry about is getting the right 4 teams. And spreading the wealth is something that other people get to think about, but for us, it's just get in the room, roll up our sleeves, and get the right 4 teams, which we have done. And the events, each of the 3 events has been sensational. The public loves the playoff. Coaches like it. We're providing memorable experiences for athletes. I couldn't be happier with how it's gone.
You know, I think the other aspect of the college football playoff that's really made it unique versus what we would have seen in the old bowl format is the committee. And so many legendary names that have been a part of it. And now you've got, you know, guys like Frank Beamer being a part of it who've had just extensive careers in college football. You've seen people outside of the realm of college football like Condoleezza Rice be a part of it. I mean, I'm thinking in 10 years we'll look back at the list, maybe 15 years of the who's who have been a part of this college football playoff committee. What's that like for you, getting to be around so many unique personalities on a regular basis?
It's been a remarkable experience, maybe the best experience of my career. I never thought I would become friends with Condoleezza Rice.
Sure.
I think the best thing we did when we created the playoff was to create this selection committee of experts who can sit in a room and evaluate teams and debate and then produce the rankings. High integrity experts. Experts that come from different perspectives. Condi in our group represented a classification that we have of former university administrators. We had a former superintendent from the Air Force Academy. We have, for the first time, we will have an active college president because Chris Howard, the president of Robert Morris University, has joined the committee. Chris is a unique character. He played at Air Force, was a really good player there, became a Rhodes Scholar, had a distinguished military career, and now he's moved up to the university presidency.
Well, it's so unique, too, I think, because you mentioned the fact that you've got people from different areas. You've got people from different realms and life issues, or I guess you would say life experiences. And so I think about that, and I think what those unique people add to what you've got, because college football is not just members of the media. It's not just the coaches and the players, but it's that water cooler talk. It's that conversation that permeates schools. It permeates business. And I think that's one of the unique aspects. And even though the NFL is so big and so global, I think because college football still has that regionalized feel, it's talked about much more frequently around the country in those pockets like that.
Yep, the NFL is the NFL. I have lots of really good friends who work there, and I follow the NFL, of course, like we all do. But I like our game better. I like the passion of our game better. Your great-grandfather was a Clemson guy or whatever, and, man, it's in your blood, and you don't ever lose that.
It almost sounded like fact. My great-grandfather graduated Clemson back in 1912. So
no kidding.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, how about that?
Yeah,
I just made that up.
But
yeah. My dad was the first in our family to go to college, and he fell in love with college football when he was a kid. So we have a cultural attachment in a college football that I don't think anything else in the country has.
Now, who was, speaking of that, you know, your dad and being a kid and everything, who was your team growing up? I mean, who did you follow?
It was Oklahoma. We lived in Oklahoma, and my brother and sister were quite a bit older than I was, and they had gone to school there. And during my formative years in the 50s, Oklahoma never lost. And, boy, what a great way to grow up.
Sure.
The only thing was I didn't know how to deal with losing. So when they did start losing, it was a little hard for me. But, yeah, I was big Oklahoma fan.
Yeah, no, listen, I understand that. I've got a son, and he's kind of watched Clemson through this Dabo Swinney era. He just turned 8, and anytime when Clemson lost to Pittsburgh last year, 43-42, you would have thought we were 0-12. You know, so
same deal.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Well, we're talking with Executive Director of the College Football Playoff, Bill Hancock, here for another few minutes on Clemson Sports Talk. And Bill, when you see this, the spectacle and what the ACC has now done with the ACC kickoff, it was a much more quieter venue several years ago. But this league has Clemson with a national championship. You've got Florida State just a few years ago winning a national championship before the college football playoff, and both of those teams, and perhaps Louisville and others in this league right now, on the cusp of maybe finding their way back into that 14 playoff. What has the ACC done specifically, you think, to push from being maybe a basketball conference in a lot of respects to what we see now with the ACC kickoff?
Commitment at the schools. It starts with that. It starts with at the top. Commitment by the leadership at the schools to athletics and certainly to football. Good coaches, great coaches who can recruit great athletes. It's a quarterback sport. The ACC is right now has had a string of great quarterbacks. You know, conference success goes in cycles, and this is the ACC's turn at the top of the cycle. And I couldn't be happier for Commissioner Swofford and all my friends in the ACC with the success they've had.
Well,
when you're in one of those good cycles, you need to enjoy it, and the ACC folks are indeed enjoying it.
Well, I have to admit, when we first had you on Clemson Sports Talk several years ago, I thought to myself, you know, this is a unique opportunity for teams because I felt like the window opened up a little bit. And I always felt like with the BCS and when you look at other ways that teams have in the past, you had the system where everybody voted for the national champion and on and on. Well, now we've got this situation where we have a committee, they look at it, they pick the best 4 teams, but there's 5 conferences, there's plenty of opportunity, and now teams that maybe lose one game, as we mentioned with Clemson last year, and you've seen other teams lose a game, still have that opportunity to get in. And I think there's so much value in that for the fan base and extending the interest for so many fan bases across the country.
There is, Lawton, indeed. If you lose a game, you're not toast. You've probably lost your margin for error, but every game is so important in our regular season. But one loss does not throw you out, as we've seen. And gosh, it could be someday in the future where 2 losses wouldn't eliminate a team.
Well, and with the right schedule, that might be the case, and that's the other thing I got to commend not just the Atlantic Coast Conference, but I think college football. You look at the opening week. Mm-hmm. I mean, Alabama and Florida State squaring off. I mean, that's a monster matchup, and I think fortunately the system that we have in place with the college football playoff allows coaches to say, you know what, we're going to play that big game. We're going to challenge ourselves, and I think that's healthy for everybody.
People have learned with the playoff already in only 3 years that if you want to be considered, you need to play a good schedule. You need to give it the opportunity for your athletes to show what they can do against the best. And I don't think there's no better example of that than last year with Ohio State. In that 3-way in the Big Ten, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, where they all defeated each other, I think as much as anything, what separated Ohio State was the fact that they had gone to Oklahoma, and, of course, they won convincingly. But coaches paid attention to that. They saw that. They saw what happened in the first year of the playoff when Baylor and TCU were right on the cusp. Unfortunately, neither one of them had challenged themselves in the non-conference schedule, and that made a difference.
Yeah, it really is. Well, Bill, I know you've got a host of things to take care of here at the ACC kickoff. I was glad to see you here, though, and really do appreciate everything you've done for me with Clemson Sports Talk, and definitely want to get you back on at some point this season as we move our way towards and through and get your insight on the college football playoff committee.
Anytime, Lawton. Thank you. Great to see you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take
Bill
care.
Hancock, Executive Director of the College Football Playoff. There you go, our interview with Bill Hancock from yesterday at the first day of the ACC kickoff. A lot of fun talking with him. And I will say, there are probably people listening to this show, Gamecocks, Bulldogs, Yellow Jackets, Seminoles, and even you Clemson Tigers who think, man, you know what, Swanee? I'd love to have a radio show. I'd love to do that job. And you probably would love to do it, and you probably could do it, and you probably do an excellent job. But I got to tell you, there are a lot of gentlemen there that I met, that I ran into, that I said, hey, you know what? I'd love to do that job. And I think Bill Hancock's got one that I'd love to have an opportunity to be a part of there with the College Football Playoff. 803-978-1832. Stay with us here on Fox Sports Radio 1400 and the iHeart Radio app.
Inspiring. adrenaline-inducing,
with all the biggest names in music,
heart-pounding.
My heart is beating so fast.
Our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival in September. 2 nights, 1 stage, and millions of iHeartRadio fans from all around the world. Our 2017 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Find out the who, what, where, and when. Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Do you want a pharmacy that treats you like a person and not just a number? Then let Craig and Lori at Southlake Drug show you what a pharmacy should be. Fast, friendly, and professional. Southlake Drug can transfer your prescriptions and take the hassle out of getting your medicine and getting you on your way. Southlake Drug takes all major insurance programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, and state employees, and they provide immunization services, including flu shots with no wait and no appointment. Southlake Drug, 1856 Southlake Drive in the Food Lion Shopping Center, 399-7701, or southlakedrug.com.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
Cottingham Family Dentistry is proud to announce the opening of their new office located at 3722 Devine Street, and they're welcoming new patients. What makes Cottingham Family Dentistry different? It's in the name, family. They will cater to your needs and the dental needs of your children. Cottingham Family Dentistry offers same-day crowns, dental implants, cosmetic dentistry, including whitening, veneers, and tooth-colored fillings, and many other dental services. If you're searching for an amazing dental home, call 776-4234 or stop by their new office at 3722 Devine Street and become a part of the family at Cottingham Family Dentistry.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
Oh, yeah, the beach music hits continuing on here, July the 15th, 2 weeks away. 2 weeks from from August. And you know what that means? Beach music gone. That means not that the summer's gone, but I know how you get. I understand. I'm a college football fan. And you thought when we started the beach music back the first week of June that, oh no, 8 weeks of beach music. Just 2 weeks left. That's it. It's not rocket surgery. It's not brain science. Strike that, reverse it. It comes quickly. When you ride the Hurry Up No Huddle Sports Talk Express, you get to your destination in a hurry. The only problem with Clemson Sports Talk is that it's not a 24-hour-a-day show, but it can be because we have podcast editions of the show that you can listen to anytime, any place, anywhere. Put that bad boy on loop. Just listen over and over and over. 803-978-1832. If you want to chat with us, you can. Head over to ClemsonSportsTalk.com, click Join the Conversation, and be a part of our Slack community. We'd love to have you, and I know that sounds like a place that maybe you don't want to hang out, but believe you me, it is a fun place, and I try to keep my eye on it during the program. When you head over there, make sure you give 110% or keep your filthy hands off our Slack channel. 803-978-1832. I know we had a caller that called in during our interview with Executive Director of the College Football Playoff, Bill Hancock. So if you want to call back, that's the number, 803-978-1832. Dabo Swinney was asked about who he was going to root for in that matchup between Florida State and Alabama. Of course, Swinney's alma mater, the team that the Tigers just took down in the College Football Playoff National Championship game. Florida State in conference rival, but yet still a conference member. When you're champion the league, you would think Dabo might step up front and say, yeah, you know what? Kind of pulling for the Seminoles in that one. Dabo said, no, that's not. My focus, my attention is on Kent State. Now, we'll hear from Dabo Swinney here on Clemson Sports Talk right at 7 o'clock, top of the hour. So you want to hang out with us there to catch that interview. But yeah, Dabo Swinney saying that he was focused on Clemson. You can also tweet the program by using the hashtag CST Show and follow me at CST Show. When you think about that matchup as well, you look at the situation with the potential, and I had a chance to talk with the president of the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, Gary Stoken, earlier today, and we'll have some of those interviews coming up for you over the next few weeks. We'll hash those out and break them down for you. But this could be the greatest opening weekend matchup in the history of college football in terms of 1 versus 2. That's never happened. 1 versus 4, I believe they told me, had happened twice to open the season. Even if it's 1 versus 3, that's also never happened. And there is a realistic chance that that's exactly what it could be. And I can tell you this, if you don't know much about the Florida State Seminoles heading into the 2017 college football season, after having a chance to talk with, I don't want to say tons because there wasn't a lot of time to talk with everybody, but with a good number of athletes that were there, and the guys who were selected to go to the ACC kickoff, they're not chopped liver players, okay? That's not who they are. It's the creme de la creme. After having talked with those guys, there was a confidence, and I really wish that I had had a chance, really wish that there had been more time for Lamar Jackson. I would have loved to have been able to talk to him and had a chance to compare Lamar Jackson's rapport, Lamar Jackson's confidence, and Lamar Jackson's poise to what I saw from DeAndre Francois. Because if you ask me right now, do I think DeAndre Francois has what it takes to win ACC Quarterback of the Year over the reigning Heisman Trophy winner? I would say yes. I think he's talented enough to do it. I think he's got the confidence in himself to pull that off. He's certainly got the versatility. And while Lamar Jackson may be one of the most versatile quarterbacks in terms of his ability to make something, to make, as they say, chicken salad out of chicken giblets. I think it's an underrated word, giblets. I'm going to be honest with you. There's something about the way it sounds. It just kind of rolls off the tongue. I can't roll my R's like a Spanish, someone who speaks Spanish. I can't do that. My son, who takes Spanish, can. I cannot. But the word giblets just rolls right off the tongue. But I do think DeAndre Francois has an air of confidence that I really liked, respect, and in some cases feared just a little bit for my Clemson Tigers. Again, I've made no bones about it since I've been on the air 4 years here in the Midlands. I am a Clemson graduate. I am a fan of the Tigers, but I'm always going to call it like I see it. And I can tell you, that young man scares me because he's confident, and I think he's really, really good. We'll head out to the phone lines here on the show that shakes the Southland Clemson Sports Talk. Caller, welcome in. What's up?
What's up, Swanee? How you doing, brother?
Oh, my goodness. It is a voice that I have not heard in ages. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm excited about college football.
Yes.
We got less than 30-plus days left. I'm getting the countdown. What I really is going to be sick of is my Gamecocks football.
Okay.
I only see maybe we probably win about 5. I made close to 6. I mean, lucky. I mean, I don't know who we're going to be at the last game. Might be Wofford. I don't think we're going to have a chance in hell to beat your Orange Crush. And the Gators, that could be a toss-up because, they're not one of those flashies, like Steve Spurrier. They don't have that spark, like when Tim Tebow was there and Myers was there. This coach, he just don't excite me. He just not too sexy enough. So, I know Hollywood ain't gonna want to hear that, but his Gators head coach is probably dysfunctional, struggling with Steve Spurrier, who had a problem with Kentucky when he was bragging about beating y'all up 5 years, and y'all getting the last laugh saying, you know what, that's good, Gamecock fans. You won 5, but we got 2 national titles. How many y'all got? So when you look at it, all that talk, my Gamecock fans were talking about, y'all football coach down in Clemson. They call him a substitute teacher. They always say that, y'all got him at a Walmart price. You know what? I'd take a Walmart price any day than an old, delusional, grumpy ball coach who thought that he was just the greatest thing ever, and he had Clowney and Company for almost 3 years and couldn't win one SEC title.
Yeah. Listen,
so I'm just getting.
We're up against the break. Let me put you. Yeah, let me put you on hold. I want to put you on hold because I want to ask you about that opener against NC State. The Wolfpack. I mentioned that there was a confidence in the Atlantic Coast Conference. I can tell you, Dave Doran and his guys seem pretty confident about their team, and they got a great defensive front, maybe one of the top in college football. We'll continue this conversation when we return.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
Lawton Swan here, and I know in sports we're always talking about the big guy. Well, let me tell you, when you're buying a car, you don't need that. What you need to do is head down to Orangeburg to my good friends at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac. 4 generations of family-owned business right there at Ferry Chevrolet. No dock fees, no tricks, straightforward pricing in a low-pressure environment you'll love. Check them out online, ferrychevrolet.com, or call them 803-536-1600. It's Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac, just a short 30-minute drive off of exit 145A in Orangeburg.
Attention, anyone who's suffering from lower back pain. Right now, HealthSource is offering our listeners an absolutely free back pain consultation on a first-come, first-served basis by calling 803-218-9047. Our doctors can find the root cause of your lower back pain and show you how to get well fast and stay well longer. No more pain. No more feeling worn out. Essentially, no more not feeling like yourself. Call 803-218-9047.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
From 2 men and a truck, movers who care. Tonight we'll see temperatures dip down to the mid-70s under clear skies. Tomorrow, sunny and hot, mid-90s. But watch out, we will see some scattered late storms. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by Wild Alaska Seafood. A heart-healthy diet should include seafood twice a week. Try grilling Wild Alaska halibut, salmon, or cod. It's fast, easy, and delicious. You can have a healthy meal on the table in minutes. For recipes and cooking tips, visit wildalaskaseafood.com.
With so many music apps out there, ever wonder which one is the best? It's iHeartRadio. Not because we say so, because you do.
iHeartRadio!
iHeartRadio is the #1 rated music app in America. It's the only one with live radio, artist stations, and an unlimited selection of music. All in one app. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. Download the free iHeartRadio app or listen at iHeartRadio.com.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
Clemson Sports Talk, Fox Sports Radio 1400, the iHeart Radio app. It has been a while, been a long while since we've heard from Speedy, and he's on the line with us tonight talking about his Gamecocks. And Speedy, I want to ask you, the opener against NC State on the road, well, I guess technically not on the road, but neutral site game there in Charlotte. NC State, they have a tremendous defensive line coming back, maybe one of the top in college football. Dave Doran's in a year as the head coach there where this is a season that could make or break his career. I mean, in an opening victory over a South Carolina team that may or may not make it to a bowl season this year, depending on the outcome of this game, this is a big matchup for NC State. What are your thoughts initially when you look ahead to that opener for the Gamecocks September the 2nd?
I think that Wolfpack they're gonna lick our chops, man. I look at this defense came to your house last year and should have won the football game. And you know it, Swanee. You have to blame the coach. The head coach did not even got his players start getting out of sync. They start making bad mistakes. They actually whooped y'all. That was the team out of them and the team that beat y'all.
Pittsburgh, right.
Pittsburgh. They actually took it to the woodshed. This team was physically. Every time your quarterback was getting the football, it was all in his face.
Right.
I don't see Carolina winning this game. It's on the neutral side, but it's still in the tobacco state. I can see we losing this game by more than 15 or 20 points.
Wow.
I just don't see it because there's a question Carolina fans concerned about the offensive line and who's going to be throwing the football. And if you're going to put that quarterback who played the last bowl game and pretty much stunk up the joint, he
Jake
did
Bentley.
all right when he kind of stunk up the joint.
Yeah, Bentley.
I just don't see it. I just don't see it, man. And the defense may be winning for us, but when you look at the talent, I want Carolina and Clemson fans to hear this. They got a receiving core like no other receiving core. This Wolfpack team could be the SEC title this year. They are that good. I'm looking at the weapons on this team.
The ACC. The ACC.
I mean the ACC.
Yeah.
It is explosive. I mean, they got more talent in recruiting this year, and they stacking on just about everybody's coming back this year. So, I mean, you look at them in Louisville, whew, I don't see Carolina win no more, maybe 4 or 5 games. If they would have to put Citadel on this team, I think Citadel beat us 3 times in school history.
Wow.
You got to tell me, I'm looking at what really scares me, and I say this, I would eat all the crow on the plate because I did criticize the men's basketball coach, and I told him straight up, I said, I never thought that you would ever get this far. I thought the men's basketball program would go in the toilet, whatever, but I eat the crow. I eat all the crows you can put on the plate, but I just don't see Will Muschamp. He can always be a chump until he win an SEC title. Then he could roll up his sleeve, and I call him a champ because how he left his legacy in the Gator Swamp, and Hollywood would agree with me on this. When you start recruiting the top Knox players in Florida, and you can't win at Florida, and you're only averaging less than 20 points, that's not good. Carolina got to score more than 20-plus points in order for their defense to help them win the game at the finish line. That's what's going to hurt. That's going to really hurt my Gamecocks, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see Carolina winning maybe 5.
All right, Speedy. Well, listen, we'll get an update from you real soon. Good to hear from you. It's been so long, man. Thanks for calling in. Speedy there, Gamecock peeking over the fence. For a year after Clemson lost to Alabama, Speedy called in quite frequently and reminded Clemson Tiger Nation that they let Nick Saban, I never will forget, pull a rabbit out of his hat. That's what Speedy would say, and it looked like at the time, I think, in a lot of people's eyes, that maybe Clemson had given away an opportunity to win a national championship. Well, fortunately for the Tigers, they had a guy named Deshaun Watson back, and you got Mike Williams back from being injured with his neck injury a year ago, and then you had Deion Kane, who was suspended for the college football playoffs, being a part of the team this year in the playoffs against Alabama, and ultimately the Tigers had too much for the Crimson Tide in 2016 and brought home a title. And we hadn't heard from Speedy. I'll be honest, I thought something had happened to him. And even though I know that there are Clemson Tiger fans out there who listen to this show on the regular. They'll say, "Oh my, trust me, Speedy, trust me. There are Tiger fans out there today that just put their hand on their head and thought, oh, Speedy's back." But you know what? For me, I like to hear a little Gamecock perspective. I like to hear what the South Carolina Gamecocks think, and you know, because I can only have my opinion about South Carolina. And that's why I always like to give you guys, you Gamecocks who listen to the show, an opportunity to tell us what you think about your team. This show is, I think the biggest misconception about Clemson Sports Talk is that, it's a show only for Clemson people. It is far from that. What kind of model would that be? Like, what kind of business model would that be? Well, you know what? I think I'm going to open up a pizza joint, but I'm only going to allow people who were born on the East Coast to come in. If you came from the West Coast, sorry. That's not how this works. This is not a show that's just for Clemson people. The focus is traditionally on Clemson, but I'm happy to engage in conversations about the South Carolina Gamecocks. And I think, much like Speedy, he thinks about NC State and that front on that defensive line going up against South Carolina. And you watched Jake Bentley and the Gamecocks really struggle against Clemson when Bentley didn't have time. And he was a freshman, and we know that. This year, he's a year more mature. He's a sophomore. Can the South Carolina Gamecocks, in that opening game, and that's the thing that's so crucial about this, like, if this NC State game was a little further down the schedule and you had a couple of weeks to maybe work out some of the kinks and you really knew, like 100%, man, our offensive front's got it. We are a collective, cohesive unit heading into a game against a team with a defensive line like NC State's, then yeah, maybe you feel good about that game. But it's game one. Missed assignments. Are you kidding me? Have you watched college football? Have you ever seen a game? Have you ever seen the opening week? I don't really care who you're playing. There are going to be a lot of mistakes, and you just hope that those mistakes aren't turnovers. But if those mistakes are on the offensive line in game one, and I love this matchup. By the way, as much as I am beginning to love Clemson and Louisville as a rivalry, I love NC State and South Carolina. Gamecocks, Wolfpack, figure out how to make this happen more often. This is akin to me what Clemson and Georgia is. And I know that Clemson and Georgia is a bigger rivalry than NC State and South Carolina to a lot of people. But this is what South Carolina needs more of, a game like this against NC State. I think it's neat when you play North Carolina, but I think NC State, for whatever reason, maybe it's because they're both capital cities, Raleigh and Columbia, whatever, I think that's a great matchup for South Carolina. You've got both fan bases, one wearing garnet and black, the other wearing red and black. I love that matchup. Speedy doesn't love the Gamecocks, though, this year, and he's a big Gamecock fan. Doesn't sound like he thinks they're going to get bowl eligible. I can tell you, this game against NC State, Gamecock Nation, will go a long way. When we come back, we'll run through South Carolina's schedule briefly and take a look at where those wins could come that could get them bowl eligible if they do knock off NC State.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4 bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Experience not only our pools, hot tubs, and lazy river, but also our delicious on-site banana boat lounge and cafe, family game room, fitness center, banquet facilities, and much more. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
Stars and Stripes Sports is a leader in the sports athlete development market, offering innovative health, fitness, training, and player development solutions for players and coaches of all levels of youth sports. Stars and Stripes Sports is looking to add at least 2 people per state to start their own business for sports testing and to market these events locally. We want people to start their programs in early 2017, starting with spring training. Many high-quality athletes fail to reach their potential. Call Chris today, 704-737-9970, or email Chris Carlson at starsandstripesports.com.
Hey guys, Lawton Swan here. I was hanging out in the backyard with my son Mason the other day, and he said, "Dad, You're the best father ever. I was like, what makes you say that, son? He said, when I go outside to play now, I don't get eaten up by the bugs anymore. Imagine that. Me, a hero, when all I did was just a couple of weeks ago call Trey Powell at Mosquito Joe with their routine service plan. No more bugs and no more bites. Make yourself the family hero. Call Mosquito Joe today, 803-223-7916. Outside is fun again.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules.
You're listening to Clemson Sports Talk with my dad, Lawton Swan, on Fox Sports Radio 1400 and on the iHeart Radio app.
Come on! You know I got ya! Yeah! One! Break the wall! Break down the walls! Baby, you know the Judas and I'm your priest. Baby, all I got is love from the least.
So I couldn't help myself. I know it's supposed to be beach music. Speedy got me so fired up. I'm so excited. I had to go to a little wrestling, a little Jericho. Kind of get me in the mood. 803-978-1832. The mood for college football. Whew. And that's what, we talked about the SEC Media Days being kind of the unofficial kickoff, and then the ACC Media Days kicking it off. And I mean, it feels like it's here. It's almost here. It really does feel like that. We're going to hit some big dog days here shortly. Dabo Swinney coming up here on the program. We've got audio from our interview with him yesterday at the ACC kickoff. That's hour number 2, right after we come back from the top of the hour break. NBA Summer League's going on. Funny because many years ago I didn't even know this thing existed. Maybe it didn't. But don't get all caught up in all the numbers and everything you're seeing from these guys. This is not all good on good. Okay, this is not the big boys in the league. These are guys trying to find their way in. Maybe they'll end up in the G League. That's the newly developed D League. Named it after Gatorade. 803-978-1832. 803-978-1832. The hashtag on Twitter, CST Show. And you can follow the program at Clemson Sports and follow me at CST Show. Again, I think, and it's unfortunate, I guess, for any team, that your bowl season could hinge on your opener. But technically, anytime you take a loss in an opener, that could be the difference in 5 wins and 6 wins. And for South Carolina, the neutral site game up in Charlotte, Bank of America Stadium, by the way, a fantastic venue to watch a football game if you've never been there. And for these two teams to meet in the Queen City, the access to the stadium and uptown Charlotte is awesome. If you've never been to a game up there, you might want to take a look at that. But NC State, South Carolina. If you think South Carolina loses that game, I think you can safely assume that you go on the road and beat a Missouri team that's not very good. Kentucky feels like one that could be a win for South Carolina because you're at home. Louisiana Tech, that gets you to 3 wins on the season. But then that's when the trouble starts. Then you go to Texas A&M, loss. You host Arkansas, I would think a loss. At Tennessee, you going to win on the road in Knoxville? I don't think so. Loss. Vandy becomes a winnable game at home. That's 4. At Georgia, loss. Florida, loss. Wofford, win. That's 5. And Clemson's a loss. I mean, in all honesty, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Gamecocks find a way to beat Arkansas. But that means that your margin of error in any of those other games is completely out the window. That NC State game, to me, just off the jump for South Carolina, and this is not my official prediction of the South Carolina team. We'll wait for that until August. But when I look at it, I look at that NC State game, Gamecock Nation, and I say, You better win that one. Because if you don't win that one, I don't know that there's 6 wins on that schedule. And that's the thing. It's not that, oh, man, NC State's a bad team and we should win that. They're a good team. It's going to be a tough game to win. But even if you check the box for NC State, you can't have any other mistakes along the way. 7 wins does not seem like a possibility at all. But without NC State, 6 gets slim. Very slim. You got to find a way to maintain and everything else and pick up one. And the back end of that schedule, starting with Texas A&M on September 30th, it's funny because for Clemson, September 30th could signify, if they are 5-0, look out, they might be making it back to the college football playoff, because at that point, even one loss may not eliminate them. But for South Carolina at that point, you go out to Texas A&M and Kevin Sumlin, another coach, much like Dave Doran, who's on the hot seat trying to survive, trying to hold on. You lose that game, South Carolina Nation. Wide margin, 1 point, whatever it is. And you look down the slate of your games, Arkansas, at Tennessee, Vandy, Georgia, Florida, Wofford, and Clemson. Not a lot of wiggle room there at the back end. For Clemson, it's the reverse. You kind of start off difficult. You got Auburn and Louisville back-to-back. You got Virginia Tech in those first 5 games on the road. You get through 3 of your toughest, perhaps 4 games of the season right off the bat. If you're sitting there undefeated on September 30th, wide open. That day for both of these schools in the state of South Carolina, the Palmetto State, huge. Huge. And not that I think South Carolina's going to go out and win that game against Texas A&M by any means. But 5 weeks into the season for the South Carolina Gamecocks and 5 weeks into the season for the Clemson Tigers, you're going to know a lot about what the rest of the year is going to look like. Now, injuries and stuff like that could always change it. But that 5-week September for these 2 schools, that 5-game September for these 2 schools, going to tell a lot about 2017. It'll tell you whether you need to start checking out when that basketball program is going to be firing up, trying to get back to the Final Four, or maybe when that basketball program is trying to get back to the NCAA tournament. Hashtag first time, long time up in Clemson. But yeah, NC State's, that's a monster. You win that game, you can probably prepare to put on some bowling shoes. You've got a good chance. You lose that game, you might just want to go ahead and spray those bowling shoes with that fungazine spray and put them up on the rack, because I don't see it. I don't see it. And that's tough, man, because it's the opener. And if you're a realist and you look at it without garnet-shaded glasses or orange-shaded approach or whatever, you go, well, it's probably right. He's probably all over it. We lose that game, we're not going to make it to a bowl. You win that game, and now you feel differently about other games, too, on that schedule, right? And that's the thing. NC State's a bigger measuring stick game for South Carolina than maybe some people will want to admit. 803-978-1832 is the number. Coming up on the program in hour number 2, we'll lead off with Dabo Swinney. Dabo Swinney joined us up at the ACC kickoff. Had a great chance to sit down with Coach, spend a little time with him, talking about the Clemson Tigers, talking about the 2017 team. Lots of changes for this Clemson team. Losing Deshaun Watson, obviously a big hurdle for Clemson to overcome. We also asked Dabo Swinney about, did he learn anything, or has he learned anything, or did what happened a few short years ago with Cole Stout and Deshaun Watson, is that something that he can kind of keep in the back of his mind when he looks to the future with Kelly Bryant, Zarek Cooper, and potentially Hunter Johnson? It should be an interesting fall for Clemson as they try to determine who's going to be the person taking the snaps, who's going to be that guy leading the team in the battle each and every Saturday during the college football season. 803-978-1832 is the number. 803-978-1832. You can text us thanks to our friends at the Ocean Reef Resort in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's 803-450-0086. 803-450-0086. It is the show that shakes the South Lane, Clemson Sports Talk. Learn more about us, ClemsonSportsTalk.com. And, of course, you can listen to the podcast editions of the show anytime, anyplace, anywhere, and they are also available on our website. Stay with us. Hour 2 in our interview with Dabo Swinney coming up right after these messages.
Your pet deserves high-quality health care. Your pet deserves the friendly, professional doctors and courteous staff at Midland's Veterinary Practice. We treat you and your pet like family by listening carefully to your concerns and addressing your pet's long-term healthcare needs. With the use of our latest state-of-the-art technology, like a therapeutic laser, we offer alternatives to drug therapy. At Midland's Veterinary Practice, we care for the most valuable pets, yours. Visit us at MidlandsVet.com on Facebook or Twitter, or contact us at 750-7387, 750-PETS.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat Place, just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat and Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
When something is so good, it's great. When something is great, you just can't celebrate it in one day. July 19th is National Hot Dog Day, and at Circle K, we're going to celebrate it for a week. That's right, $1 hot dogs from July 17th through July 23rd at participating Circle K locations. Our dogs are doggone good. Only at Circle K. Take it easy.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her.
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
From the E.F. Martin Heating and Air Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio 1400.
WCOS Columbia.
Available anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app.
Fox
sports trending now.
Kick things off in Major League Baseball with the regular season about to resume. Cardinals and Pirates, Cubbies in Baltimore. But Michael Pineda might not see any action for the rest of the season. The right-hander with the New York Yankees is told that he needs Tommy John surgery, but he will look for a second opinion before making that final move. Meanwhile, Boston Red Sox have designated Pablo Sandoval for assignment. Boston still owes him $49 million until the end of 2019. Onward to the National Football League, Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Michael Floyd has been suspended without pay for the first 4 games of the upcoming season for violating the NFL policy and program for substance abuse. In the NBA, Scott Perry has signed a 5-year deal with the New York Knicks to be the team's new general manager, who's formerly basketball ops, Sacramento Kings. I'm David Gascon.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set, just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
It is hour number 2. That's prime time right here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio Live on ClemsonSportsTalk.com, the show that shakes the Southland, and big things happening over on our website. We've refreshed the page a little, but we've got more to come. And I think you're really going to like some of the things we've been doing. Again, you can follow the show at Clemson Sports. If you're watching, that's right below. You can follow me on my new account at CST Show. And again, learn so much more about the program. And the great thing about being on the iHeart Radio app, and I appreciate the people here at iHeart Media for allowing me to be a part of this family. Listen on the iHeart Radio app. Listen to the podcast. I suggest on an iPhone using the Overcast app. I think you'll like it. I hear on Android that it's Podcast Addict. And you just search for Clemson Sports Talk or Clemson Sports. You'll find us. Look for our logo over there. Never going to be a weatherman. Right there. Look for our logo. And again, we've got several Amazon Echo skills available, one of which I am currently in contention with Echo or Amazon about how it's working because it stopped working. It worked and now it doesn't, and I'm a little bit frustrated with them. But once we get that all squared away, you're gonna love what we've done with the place. So still working with them. I probably shouldn't have promoted them until I knew 100% they were going to work, and they were working. But then both of them have had issues. So I tend to fall to Amazon more than myself because I didn't change anything. Something changed on their end. But we will get that all squared away for you, and we appreciate everybody who's a part of the program. And again, adding Zach Lentz as a writer for us is huge, and that's why ClemsonSportsTalk.com is becoming an incredible place for you to get that news every day, and already is. There's so many stories up, and we've got a fresh new website coming soon, thanks to my good friend Brad, who's been working diligently to get that all squared away. I cannot wait for the refresh. It's going to be dynamic. We've got a platform for you to chat during the live show. You can head over to ClemsonSportsTalk.com, click Join the Conversation. You get in there and just hang out, chat. It's awesome. We use an app called Slack for that. Once you sign up, you can download the Slack app. Gives you that instant interaction. It's kind of like a chat room, only better. It's like a chat room, only better. Now, before we get to Dabo Swinney's audio, I do want to work this caller in. Simply because Dabo talks for about 11 minutes. Now, I'm not even joking. I said this yesterday, and I mean it. Coach Swinney, how are you reacting to winning the national championship? You know, Lawton, I was born in Pelham, Alabama, and times were tough. I mean, he'll give you the whole story, so Coach Swinney can go. But let's send it out real quick to the phone lines for one call before we hear from Coach Dabo Swinney here on Clemson Sports Talk. Caller, welcome in.
What is happening, my friend Lawton, the greatest radio announcer, sports radio announcer in the whole wide world?
Well, the check's in the mail.
Buddy, I hate to do this to you, number one.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the story was not a play toy. The most important part, it was a real gun, sir.
Did I say it was? I think I said it was a fake gun. I meant to say it was a broken gun.
No, you said it was a fake. I don't. Whatever.
Yeah, I think I said fake.
It wasn't real.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, the way it really happened, I tapped the side of the gun. It was a .40 cal. And I tapped it, and the slide was loose where you put a load around in the magazine, in the chamber. That was loose, and that's when I told him. I said that gun probably won't even fire. Then I told him, I said, you, by the way, can't pull the trigger because he was shaking his whole body. He was shaking and scared to death. I said, you won't even. And then he ran. That's the real story, and I'm sorry I had to do this to you, but I wanted people to know that was no fake gun.
Right.
Hey, great coverage on the great coverage, man. Awesome.
On the ACC kickoff. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, the kickoff. Yeah, that's great, man. You're doing a fine job as usual. Thanks for letting me get it story straightened out, and go Tigers.
Oh, there you go, Cool Tongue Luke. There you go. 00 Overton's Orange. Appreciate the phone call, catching us back up and keeping us in step. Now, that story's incredible still. No matter how many times I hear it, I do always get a little nervous because I can't imagine that the conversation between 00 and the individual was as pleasant as it sounds when he tells the story on the air. And I do appreciate him cleaning it up for us. But as I mentioned before, we had a great opportunity to sit down with Coach Dabo Swinney over at the ACC kickoff in Charlotte yesterday. And here's what Coach had to say. Coach Swinney, welcome in. Glad to have you be a part of it. And, man, what a show the Atlantic Coast Conference is now putting on. This thing's changed a little bit since you took over in Tigertown.
It has changed. That's for sure. I don't know where we changed to these coat and ties. I need one of them polos like you got on. But
listen, I got a sticker right over there for you. Put it on the back of your car.
But, no, it's good. You know, they've kind of split it up. Used to, we were all here together, and now we've got half today and half tomorrow. But it's good. You know, it's good. They kind of streamlined it to where we can just kind of come in here and be here one day and get it all done.
Coach, I know a lot of people probably with Clemson rings on, and those of us that have followed Clemson for a long time wake up every once in a while and go, that happened. You have that moment. Do you still have that moment?
Oh, absolutely. I was at the beach last week with my family, and we were sitting around playing cards at the table and flipping through the channel. Dadgum, they got the game on. And so we sat there and just, you know, kind of watched it as a fan again. And, you know, it never gets old. You know, it's great. You know, I've been at Clemson 14 years, so this will be my 15th season. So I have a great appreciation for the university and just, you know, how far we've come. And, you know, 35 years since Clemson had a taste of that, and to be able to experience that is really something I've dreamed about. And it was an unbelievable moment in every sense of the word, and just so thankful that I got a chance to experience that type of joy with so many people. Really cool thing to do, and can't wait to do it again.
Well, and I can tell you, I know a lot of people hope that happens, but when you look back to your national championship when you were a player at Alabama, I wasn't old enough. I was alive, but not old enough to remember the first title that Clemson got. So I didn't have those moments where I went, oh, that happened. Did that one from 92, does that still every once in a while you go, oh, man?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because, you know, again, going back to that time, you know, that was my dream school. That's really all I knew. And, you know, I go to Alabama and I'm a walk-on. And now all of a sudden I'm on scholarship. I've earned a scholarship at Alabama. I'm a senior. It's the 100th year of Alabama football. It's 1992, and Alabama hadn't won a national championship since 1979. So that was like an eternity.
Yeah, that's a drought.
That's a drought in Tuscaloosa. And so here we are. We weren't supposed to win it all, and we're playing Miami, who was kind of the Alabama of that time, you know. And they had the Heisman Trophy winner and Gino Torretta and all that. And we had to play in the first SEC championship game in '92 with Coach Spurrier and the Gators. And,
right.
Nobody had done that, and so now we're sitting there 11-0. We got to go play another game, and Miami's sitting at the house, and then we got to go beat Miami, and we killed them. And to be a part of that as a player was surreal for me, to be like, okay, I'm, 22 years old here. I mean, I grew up, just will fight you over the Tide, I mean, that's just the way it is in that state. And here I've got a chance to be a part of the program and now play on a national championship team, be at the Sugar Bowl. It was my last game. It was a surreal thing for me. But, I was a player, and as a player, you can only perform your role. And being in that locker room with all those guys, your brothers, and that moment of celebration and because you've done all this wind sprints together, all the training, all that, and it was special. And then you fast forward, I get into coaching the very next season, and I think, oh well, we're gonna win this thing every other year or so.
Sure.
And then as I go through my career, and here I am, 24 years later, and I'm in a national championship game after coming off of a loss the year before. And you're playing your alma mater, and as a coach, it's different because you can't go play, but yet you have this enormous responsibility to try to pull it all together. So many moving parts, and it was awesome, and you really can't script it. I mean, you really can't. I mean, if we'd have won the national championship versus Wyoming, it would have been doing cartwheels.
Right.
But to beat Alabama,
right,
who's been kind of the standard for everybody, was special. And to do it with 1 second on the clock left, and to see my team just fight and believe, and to see it all 8 years of work come together for that moment was you wake up and say, man, that happened. And it never gets old. Nobody can take that away from us, something that'll bond that group together for a long, long time.
Dabo Swinney here on Clemson Sports Talk, making his first appearance. Coach, we got to get you on in the
I
Midlands
know,
more
man,
often.
yeah.
Got a card over there. I'll definitely give you that on the way out. But when you look back on –
I didn't know they allowed Clemson shows in Columbia.
Well,
is there like a rule against that?
Well, they put me on late at night.
Twilight. You're in the twilight hours.
Exactly. But, I think about what people always say about this program. They talk about a family culture, but watching it from the outside in, I think it's a little bit different. I think it's more about finding players who not only buy into that family concept, but you've got to find it. You've got boys of your own. I've got a son and a daughter. And you got to find kids that have that intrinsic motivation, because it can't all come from Dabo Swinney.
That's
a lot
right.
of it can, but how valuable, and I don't even know how you measure that, because that's not something you watch some kid run a sprint. Is that a big key to your success?
I want guys that love football. That's one of the things I always challenge our staff on all the time. First of all, you've got to know the fit. As if you're on this staff, then you know the culture of our program. You know the philosophy of the program. Don't bring a guy in here that doesn't fit that, and because I'm gonna hold you accountable to that. And at the end of the day, sometimes we get so caught up in this guy's stars and who's recruiting this guy. Well, he must be a great player, and I could give a rip about that.
Yeah.
I want guys that love football, and that's how we've built this program. We're going to go and sign the Deshaun Watsons, but man, I wouldn't trade Grady Jarrett for nobody. And Grady Jarrett had heart. If I'm starting my program all over again from scratch, he's in my top 3 picks right out of the gate, because he's going to set the standard for everybody else in the program.
Well, you'd have called in the other day because I said I'd have started Christian Wilkins over him.
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking about I'm starting a program
right.
and building a culture. That guy was, he's a 2-star recruit.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, everybody wants to go get Christian Wilkins. He's a 5-star recruit. He's a freak. He's got everything. He's an unbelievable kid. He's an honor roll student. But there's very few of those guys. And when you can find a guy that has that type of talent, that type of work ethic, that type of commitment and character, you better believe it. But don't take that guy just because he's a great player and he doesn't have the talent, he doesn't have the commitment, he doesn't have the work ethic. You're better off taking that guy who maybe doesn't have some of the measurables, but he's got all that other stuff that you can't measure. Because at the end of the day, you still got to be a football player, and you got to love to play the game. And that's one thing I'm always challenging our guys, man. Find guys that love it. Find guys that are going to wake up and they're going to think about being a great player today. Because when you get that, you've got a chance to be pretty successful.
Coach, one final question for you. I know you got a whole lot going on, but when you look towards this season, I mean, there's so many questions that people have and then members of the media, and, of course, they're going to ask you about the quarterback spot. My question is, you talk about looking through the windshield all the time, and I love that mentality. I've tried to do that with my life because I can't fix anything. I've already made that mistake. But in terms of looking at your quarterback situation, does that affect anything for you, or is everything about just a gut and a feel? Because I felt like with the Cole Deshaun, I felt like it was a gut feel thing. Or do you use some of that knowledge and maybe see how that thing plays out?
Oh, no, that's a totally different situation. I think every situation is different. That was so different. You know, you had a guy that had been a proven 3-year backup for 3 years and had played very well in a lot of games, and he was just so far ahead in spring ball in that Deshaun was 180 pounds.
Sure.
And broke a collarbone. Now, we recognized pretty quick that, okay, this guy's pretty smart. But when we came out of spring and Chad Kelly was gone, I mean, it was like Cole was the guy.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you show back up in fall camp and you go, okay, now Deshaun's 200 pounds. And, man, he's really worked. And so that gap, and I hated it for Cole because he didn't do anything wrong. It's just Deshaun just closed it to the point to where, okay, we don't have preseason games.
Right.
And it's like, and it was like, okay, so we're going to Athens. And so we go into that first game, and Cole really played pretty well. He didn't get a lot of credit for how he played. We had some drop balls and things. Deshaun came in, did great. They were a better team than us. We get beat. The second game, we kind of split it.
Yeah.
I can't remember who we played. We killed them. Now we got to go to Tallahassee.
It was
NC State. It just happened. You know, things have to happen. It did. You know, in our program, you're not going to be anointed. You're going to earn it, and that's exactly what happened. And the rest is history. And Cole was a pretty good player. You know, he it was hard on him, but you know, Deshaun won the job, and then as it turned out, you know, Cole came in and was MVP of a pretty big bowl game for us playing Oklahoma. So, you know, I was proud of him and all that. But at the end of the day, the best player plays. And sometimes it takes a little time. Sometimes it happens. Like last year, we knew who our starting quarterback was going into that first game without a doubt. But here we are now. We're going into a season where Kelly doesn't have the experience of Cole.
Right.
You know,
I agree.
He's the most experienced. And if we spotted the ball today, Kelly Bryant's running out there for the Tigers because this is what I do for a living, and I want to have a chance to win. And he gives us the best chance to win. Now, I have no idea what to expect. We're going to get there. We're going to see how they've been doing. We haven't been on the field with them since April.
Right.
It's his job to keep it that way. It's those other guys' job to go get it. And so you got competition from elite, talented players. It's a good position to be in as a coach, and it'll all play itself out. I don't know when. I mean, we might play 5 of them. I have no idea. We'll see. But whoever runs out there is going to be ready to win for us.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time on Clemson Sports Talk. As a Clemson graduate, man, you made everybody's year. I'll tell you that. Let's go do it again.
Oh, shoot. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, there he is, Dabo Swinney, joining us here on Clemson Sports Talk up at the ACC kickoff yesterday. We hope you enjoyed that interview. If you missed any of it, it'll be up on ClemsonSportsTalk.com later tonight. The show in its entirety will be there. That interview as well will be over on our webpage again, ClemsonSportsTalk.com. 803-978-1832. Lots of people have been chiming in over on our Slack channel and also hitting me up via the Ocean Reef Resort text line. You want to join our Slack community on our website, click Join the Conversation, and then you can be a part of what we are doing. Davey D23, many others chiming in via the Ocean Reef Resort text line, including FSU fan. He says, man, I hope you'll be able to get Coach Swinney back on during the season for all seasons. Yeah, me and you both. I really need to send him that polo. I tell you that was a big moment for me. When Dabo Swinney looked at the shirt, he said, I need one of those polos. Well, Coach, if you want to wear it with the Clemson Sports Talk logo on it, it's all yours, buddy. So I'm going to tell you, I'm talking to my people at Meridian Printing and Promotions, Lake Murray Dry Goods. We're going to get a shirt for Swinney. I'm going to take it up there to him and say, here you go, Coach. If you want to wear this to an interview session, that's fine, but feel free to just wear it on the weekends around town. 803-978-1832. Your thoughts and more when we return. Stay with us here on Fox Sports Radio 1400 and the iHeart Radio app.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Columbia Office Furniture is the destination for quality new or used office furniture. Preview thousands of new quick ship desks, chairs, workstations, file cabinets, bookcases, conference room furniture, and more at cofsc.com. Then visit our 12,000 square foot showroom at 301 Greystone Boulevard to see, sit in, touch, and feel actual samples before you buy, or browse our huge selection of quality used office furniture. And we offer layout and design services as well as installation. Visit cofsc.com today. Columbia Office Furniture. We furnish solutions.
The 2017 Guardians of the Night K9 5K, benefiting the Richland County Sheriff's Foundation and Richland County K9 Unit, is Saturday, July 29th at 10:30 at the Village at Sandhill. For more info, call 309-9413 or go to strictlyrunning.com.
Looking for South Carolina's favorite country? You'll find it at 97.5 WCOS.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Clemson Sports Talk, Beach Music's finest show. Fox Sports Radio 1400, the iHeart Radio app. 803-978-1832. If you want to be a part, 803-978-1832. Barrett Sallee tweeted out that Jake Bentley said at the SEC Media Days yesterday, "I'm definitely the fastest guy on the team." I can't imagine that that's accurate. I'm not trying to be dismissive of the kid's speed. Maybe he's deceptively fast. But if you're a South Carolina Gamecock fan, I don't know how this show's kind of morphed into Gamecock talk here tonight. If Bentley is right, that he is truly the fastest guy on the team, that's got to make you a little bit nervous, huh? Old School Tiger chiming in via the Ocean Reef Resort text line. He says, hey, that Kentucky game is not a sure win for the Gamecocks. They got a 3-game winning streak against South Carolina. They have the most returning starters on both sides of the ball. He's calling for a 27-21 win over the South Carolina Gamecocks for the Kentucky Wildcats. 803-978-1832. Again, follow the show on Twitter at Clemson Sports. Follow me at CST Show. Sometimes I wonder if I should have reversed those, but nonetheless, Clemson Sports, the place to get all your Clemson news, and that's over on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. Dabo Swinney there before we went to break. Lots of interesting things coming out of that. And in terms of the quarterback situation, so if we had to play a game today, it's going to be Kelly Bryant today. But when they come back for the fall, it's Kelly Bryant's job to hold on to it. So they're not playing a game today. They're not playing a game tomorrow. They don't have a game until September the 3rd. And until somebody takes it from Kelly Bryant, it sounds like it's Kelly's job to lose. And so that's where Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers find themselves as they head into a short respite before fall camp, which is right around the bend. Now, there will be more news out of Clemson next week as Dabo Swinney will have his golf media outing. Opportunities for our senior writer, Zach Lentz, to be on the ground in Clemson, talking with and interviewing many, if not all, and I'm sure he'll go for all, trust me, every single assistant on this Clemson Tiger team. And we'll have those interviews, we'll have those conversations, we'll have articles, again, posted on our website. ClemsonSportsTalk.com. 803-978-1832. If you want to be a part of the program, we'd love to have you here this evening. Your reaction to everything and anything you've heard out of the ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference kickoff, which wrapped up earlier today up in Charlotte. Had a chance to be on the ground in the Queen City. I'll tell you another school that we didn't really mention in hour number one of the program who had some confidence about them, I thought, today. And that was Miami and Mark Richt. And we've talked about the fact that this could be the year where they win the Coastal Division. And I think because of the losses at quarterback, I should say not losses plural, but I think the loss at quarterback for Virginia Tech with Gerard Evans turning pro early, the losses at wide receiver for Virginia Tech in the Coastal Division. I think the fact that Georgia Tech, I think their offense, and I like Paul Johnson. I have to admit to you, I had a chance to talk with Coach Johnson today. And quite frankly, in terms of some of perhaps the greatest comments that have ever been made about the SEC, Coach Paul Johnson's may have been the ones that he made after Georgia Tech beating Mississippi State, where he said something to the effect of, maybe now people will stop talking about the SEC and talk about the ACC. That was a classic moment for Coach. Even though his style's a little bit older, it's not something that you truly prepare for all that often. As a matter of fact, many teams, if they have Georgia Tech on the schedule, will find a team that plays that flex bone triple option, good gracious, look out, whatever it is. Scary that's that for sure. There's a team that you see two things happening quite frequently. You see running backs running through gaping holes as the B back or the A back is in the open field, and two, wide receivers free down the field because a defense is committed to the run, only to be burnt deep. But when you think about the Coastal Division in 2017, Miami, just a couple of years removed from a shellacking at the hands of the Clemson Tigers, 58-0, that I guess it didn't technically begin the downfall of Al Golden, but it was the downfall, and that was it. When you get the old 58-0, then the heave-ho. 2 years now, though, with Mark Richt down there, and Mark Richt looked excited about the program that he's got. Mark Richt looked ready for the 2017 campaign, and as a former player at Miami, don't you know that it just grates on Mark Richt that they haven't played for that ACC championship, that they haven't hoisted that ACC championship since joining the league. Looking at that group, them and Virginia Tech, I feel like it's going to be a battle there. I think those are the top two teams, even with the issues that both have. I think they're the strongest two teams. But Miami had a confidence today. Miami had a confidence up at the ACC kickoff. Caller, welcome in.
Hey, good afternoon, Swanee, the National Championship Talk Show radio host. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you?
Good to hear your voice, my brother.
Appreciate it.
It's almost that time, man. I love your beach music.
Thank you.
I really do. Hey, Swanee, I tell you what, Tennessee better look out, and they better be practicing now to stop that option from Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
You saw what Georgia Tech did to Kentucky, they did to Georgia. The only team, Swanee, I see that can really stop that option is Clemson. Venable, I don't know what Venable has going on.
Well, part of it was that good defensive line, don't you think?
Yeah, but, he stopped it before these guys came in there when he took over.
Yeah.
The only time they beat Clemson really when Cole Stout threw those interceptions and things like that.
Yeah, that's a bad. That may be the worst memory that anybody has of Clemson the past few years.
Oh Oh yeah, that was horrible, man. I couldn't believe it, you know. But you know, Cole became a good guy at the end. I'm glad to see when they hoisted him up after that Oklahoma game and took him off the field. Man, that was real good. But I'm looking forward to this. And these Gamecocks fans. Now the schedule came out today. I mean, their ranking. All the Gamecocks fans are talking about what's the boy named Debo Samuels.
Yeah, Debo.
He didn't even make the first or second team on the offense for the conference. I think he's honorable mention, our third team. And everybody talk, oh, he can start for Clemson. I don't think so. Now, I might be wrong because I'm a Clemson Tiger and I'm prejudiced against the Gamecocks. So I don't know if he can start for the Tigers, but I tell you what, that receiving core Clemson has come this year, Swanee, look out for Deion Kane and Ray. I think they're going to take over the football season. Swanee, have a great weekend, my buddy. A great interview with Dabo.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really got to get Coach back on more frequently. I absolutely do. And it's not for a lack of trying, believe me. It is not for lack of trying. Appreciate the phone call. Yeah, you talk about the preseason voting, and, you know, we can look through some of those things that came out from the SEC. Alabama, far and away projected to win the SEC, but you know, we talk about Kane, we talk about Hunter Renfrow, who may be one of the more underrated wide receivers in America given what he's done. But the young man T. Higgins, when you talk to football insiders and experts, when I talk to the majority of people both in interviews and around the venue there up in Charlotte, T. Higgins is a name that a lot of people feel like will be one that transcends, much like CJ, Sammy, Deshaun. We'll see as his career develops. Stay with us.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
Hi, my name is Donald Kidwell, current owner of CrossFit Iron Mary's. After finding CrossFit in 2012, I lost 128 pounds. At CrossFit Iron Mary's, you're not a barcode, you're an actual person. Where you are now is not important. Where you want to be is. 3 locations to reach your fitness goals in Columbia: the Old Mill in Lexington, Trotter Road in West Columbia, and downtown near the Carolina Baseball Stadium. Check us out online at CrossFitIronMarys.com or give us a call at 803-414-9601. Set up your first set of free classes today at CrossFit Iron Mary's, 803-414-9601.
If you have a Lowe's Advantage card, you can get an extra 5% off every day on items big or small. So you can save an extra 5% on a new coat of paint, updating appliances, replacing the flooring, and even save an extra 5% on little things like cleaning supplies, laundry detergent, and air filters. The big to-dos to the everyday essentials. You get an extra 5% savings every day when you use your Lowe's Advantage card. If you don't have one, apply today. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Subject to credit approval and can't be combined with any other credit offers. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only.
When you have a need for a plumber, you need it fast and you need it done right. If you're dealing with busted pipes, maybe you need your toilet repaired or you're battling a clogged drain, break free from average service and experience the best with Freedom Plumbing. Call James Carwell and the staff at Freedom Plumbing to get the job done fast, on time, and most importantly, right the first time. Freedom Plumbing, your local 24-hour plumber. Call 803-447-0471 or online at freedom-plumbing.com.
Tonight, the skies will stay clear and the temperatures will dip down to the mid-70s. Tomorrow, sunny and hot, mid-90s for highs, and then some scattered late storms. That'll cool things off for the evening. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by Midland Air Service Experts. 60 months equal payment, no interest, or save up to $24.75 on a new home comfort system when you replace your old AC with a new Lennox home comfort system. Call Midland Air Service Experts, 866-EXPERTS, or visit midlandair.com. Expert service guaranteed. See website for license details.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk, your iHeart Radio home for the 2016 College Football National Champion, Clemson Tigers.
You can dance every dance with the guy who gives you the eye, let him hold you tight. You can smile every smile for the man.
It is Clemson Sports Talk. Lawton Swan, the Beach Music hits continue here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio as we make our way towards August. Hard to believe the college football season right around the bend. I know summer. Don't let your kids hear this. Do not, whatever you do, don't let your kids hear this. Not because I'm about to drop foul language, but summer's almost up, kids. You know, the parents, it's funny, right? It's funny. Teachers, love them. They take care of your kids 180 days of the year, make sure they're, fed and learning and doing everything and being kind and doing all the things that so many great teachers do out there. Parents, you get 8 weeks with them during the summer, and you're like, get back to school. When do the bells ring? Not even lying. Coach Mike's on the line. Wants to talk ACC football. Coach Mike, what's up, man?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Man, we're good.
I'm just enjoying a nice Friday evening in the heat, watching my wife and my son do yard work in the backyard.
I was going to say, if you say do yard work, I was going to say, Coach Mike, this may be the call of the year.
And I'm handing out popsicles to the neighborhood kids running around, so it's a good evening.
Nice.
Cockett, Speedy. You call him Speedy. I call him Cockett.
He's always been Speedy. He's always been Speedy on this show. I don't know why he's been Speedy, but yeah.
And good to hear from Triple T, too. I wish somebody, the Orange Blood, would call in sometime. I haven't heard him in a while. But, yeah, I always say now that it's reached the point that, you tell the South Carolina fans, when you can start recruiting the ACC-type players, y'all might start doing a little bit better, But, and I'm talking about the Trevor Lawrence kid, that quarterback. When's he coming next year?
Yep, that's next season.
Okay, so we got a year with about 3 quarterbacks that can handle this year. I'm not looking for another national championship, but Kelly Bryant, he's explosive.
He's fast. And here's the thing that's unfortunate about the fact that coaches can't talk about recruits, because that's a perfect question to ask a guy like Dabo Swinney. How much does it concern you? And this is something you could open-endedly ask, at any position. You could say, how much would it concern you if you had a top-rated guy coming in and then another top-rated guy committed and that top-rated guy started, if you follow what I'm saying with Hunter Johnson? Because if Hunter Johnson is the starter, with social media now, every Georgia Bulldog fan in the country will be tweeting it at Trevor Lawrence. You're going to be on the bench if you go to Clemson. You're going to be riding the pine, just trying to sway him.
Yeah, I'm wondering why he's not getting more talk. That was a great interview you had with Dabo. I love listening to him talk about it. I love his philosophies and stuff. I want kids that love to play football. I don't have to coach them up. I just teach them. That's like in my classes. I love kids that love math.
Yeah.
And have a great attitude, and I just teach them.
Right.
It doesn't usually work that way. But that's a great point. And also, offensively, what are you trying to do and develop to know that this Lawrence kid's coming into town next year?
Sure, and I'll say this too, Coach Mike, about what the reason I asked that question too is this: Clemson's not the only school where people talk about the family environment, but what is it that's different? What is it that a coach is looking for? And I don't know that it's the family aspect as much as it is an intrinsically motivated player.
Yeah. That's what I said. Dabo says he wants a player that just loves to play, wants to play. And it was listening to South Carolina's coach, Will Muschamp, yesterday in his interview, and he said he's had players going out on the field the first game come up to him and say, "Coach, it's okay if I don't play today." as a coach, I just look at him and go, okay, you just blew my game plan.
Yeah, you know what? I'd be
turn
willing
around
to
and run
say,
back in.
yeah, go take your pads to the locker room and don't worry about renewing your scholarship.
Yeah,
did he really say that? I didn't hear that. Did he really say that?
Well, he was talking about when he was an assistant coach.
Okay,
years ago.
wow, okay.
He was talking about recruiting the type of kids. No, he was not talking about when he's in South Carolina.
Okay.
This must have happened years ago. I just thought that was pretty funny. I'm like,
right.
God, I wouldn't want to hear that. He was just an assistant coach. I don't know what he was coaching or where he was coaching, but I mean, when somebody asked about like when you're going out on the field, what's it like, and he said he's had kids do that. Wow. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, it was good to hear from Triple T. And like I said, old Orange Blood, if he's still out there, I'd love to hear him call in. I guess O-line might be calling in next if he hadn't called in.
Yeah, it feels like we're getting the old gang back together again.
All right. Well, y'all take care.
All right, Coach Mike, be good. Thanks for the phone call. There he is, Coach Mike, 803-978-1832. So the SEC voted and the ACC voted, and the results of the Atlantic Coast Conference preseason ballots have not been released yet, but the predicted order of finish by the members of the media in the SEC in the West: Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Arkansas, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss last in the West. Mississippi State, by the way, Texas A&M, by the way, if you buy that, fifth, you can just kiss Kevin Sumlin goodbye. That's not going to do it for the Aggie fans. Sumlin would be done if that's the way it ends up. And that just tells you how tough it is in the West. Always tough in the West. The fact that Ole Miss, again, sitting there at the bottom of the West. This is a program in Ole Miss just a couple of short years ago, and they've got sanctions. They're not going to a bowl game this year, but it's amazing how quick you can go from being one of the top projected teams in the league to the bottom real fast. And Ole Miss predicted 7th by the members of the media in the SEC. In the East, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee's 3rd, South Carolina 4th, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Missouri. That would lead to a matchup between Alabama over Georgia. In terms of the SEC championship, Alabama led the way. Auburn was 2nd, and Georgia was 3rd, followed by LSU, Florida. The South Carolina Gamecocks, very respectable, at 6th in terms of the SEC championship voting. Vanderbilt was 7th. Arkansas was 8th. Now, that would raise red flags to me to see Vanderbilt, and I don't know if there were more Vandy people there. I don't know if there were more South Carolina people there or what, but it's hard for me to imagine that you have a school like Tennessee, who you believe is 3rd in the East, but they're not even in the championship votes. They are not mentioned in the championship votes. So a little strange there that South Carolina would be above them in terms of getting to the championship, but perhaps that has to do with the fact that Tennessee has to play a cross-divisional matchup against Alabama, thus a setback game for them you would feel pretty confident in. Final segment of the week on the show that shakes the Southland. Again, Dabo Swinney saying to me in our interview, in our program, you ain't going to be anointed, you're going to earn it. Stay with us here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio.
Columbia Office Furniture is the destination for quality new or used office furniture. Preview thousands of new quick ship desks, chairs, workstations, file cabinets, bookcases, conference room furniture, and more at COFSC.com. Then visit our 12,000 square foot showroom at 301 Greystone Boulevard to see, sit in, touch, and feel actual samples before you buy, or browse our huge selection of quality used office furniture. And we offer layout and design services as well as installation. Visit COFSC.com today. Columbia Office Furniture. We furnish solutions.
The Midland Midland's Ultimate Summer Camp Guide, brought to you by the YMCA, is here. Log on to foxsportsradio1400.com now and search camp. For a summer they won't forget, go to foxsportsradio1400.com now to see the Midland's Ultimate Summer Camp Guide, brought to you by the YMCA.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
Hey guys, Lawton Swan here. I was hanging out in the backyard with my son Mason the other day, and he said, "Dad, you're the best father ever." I was like, "What makes you say that, son?" He said, "When I go outside to play now, I don't get eaten up by the bugs anymore." Imagine that, me, a hero, when all I did was just a couple of weeks ago call Trey Powell at Mosquito Joe with their routine service plan. No more bugs and no more bites. Make yourself the family hero. Call Mosquito Joe today, 803-223-7916. Outside is fun again.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules.
Follow Clemson Sports Talk on Twitter at Clemson Sports. Now more of Clemson Sports Talk. Take it away, Dad.
What have you done for me lately? It's a fair question. Just don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Don't forget history. Lucky for us at Clemson, the answer to the questions, what have you done for me lately, and what have you done always, are the same. We win.
Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan. David E. wants to know, Swanee, were you starstruck hanging out with Dabo Swinney? No, I mean, I'm being honest. And Zach's interviewed him for 6 years covering the Clemson Tigers, and now his new responsibilities with Clemson Sports Talk covering Clemson. I try to make all interviewees as comfortable as possible, and I really think that that's one of the things that I don't know what. I'm not sure. Rob Sanders is outside the studio. I was just laughing. I don't know, he came back from working out or something. Anyway, I'll tell you this. In terms of interviewing Dabo Swinney, one of the things that I've always tried to do with this program with anybody that we have on, or even, heck, when a guy like Rob Sanders steps in to hang out with us, I mean, you try to make people feel comfortable. And if people feel like they're having a conversation, you get a whole lot more out of them than you would if you make it as if you're questioning them. And the minute you get somebody to engage you in conversation, you get more juice. You get more sauce out of the interview. Rob Sanders, what are you laughing about waltzing in here at 7:47 in the p.m.?
Well, I got to finish up my work for the rest of the weekend.
Well, how did your workout go? Let's hear about that. What kind of numbers are we talking?
I work out CrossFit Bomb Island, and I got smoked today because
good for you.
It just sucks, but hey, that's the humbling thing about it. Anyway, we don't want to get into the whole CrossFit thing because it'll just make my head hurt. But I did want to tell you, I did hear the stuff with Sweeney that you did.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The funny thing was, when we were putting it together earlier, you and the two of you talking back and forth, it sounded like you were old buddies. It sounded like you knew each other from, like, high school. It was just very, like, you and I talking when we're sitting in studio over there. So.
Well, in fairness to Dabo Swinney, and I guess me, we both been known to run our mouths a little bit. We can talk.
Yeah.
You get a couple of guys together that can talk.
Dabo can make his way around Barnwell. He'd be all right.
Yeah, he'd be okay. Probably.
He'd be all right in
I
Barnwell.
don't know how many people lived in Pelham, Alabama, but I can tell you it probably was like Barnwell. The only thing that we say in Barnwell that I don't know that they say in Alabama is Bo. We use Bo a lot in Barnwell. I don't.
Really?
Hey, Bo.
Hey, Bo.
How you doing, Bo?
I say brother a lot. Hey, brother.
I think Bo is short for brother in Barnwell.
So we're uppity if I say brother, because I'm from the big city of Columbia. Yeah, the big lights make me say brother.
Well, we're just trying to save time in Barnwell. Hey, Bo.
I understand.
And if I go back, it's funny because, like, my wife's grandmother is from England, and so she still has a little bit of the accent. But if she ever gets on the phone with one of her family members in England,
yeah, it gets deeper.
Right. So I don't use Bo on the regular. As a matter of fact, being around you here, I don't know that I've ever said, "Hey, Bo, if I go back home and start talking to my buddies, look out. I'll be bowing you up."
Shout out to Positive Mike, who just sent me a message saying that I should be doing traffic reports about Krispy Kreme because apparently everybody's beating themselves stupid trying to get an 80-cent dozen of donuts.
I heard about this. It's their 80th birthday. Is that right?
Right. Don't we? Isn't one of the guys that runs the Krispy Kremes up in the upstate? I mean, he's a CST guy.
Yeah, M.W. Reese. Michael Reese.
Michael Reese should be on the phone with us now talking about that, man.
Listen, are you kidding me? Michael Reese should be giving me $80 dozen donuts every day, all day.
Well, he would be talking to us, but right now he's back in the kitchen making more donuts because they may run out.
Don't you know? Can you imagine what that's like today? Can you, like, when they do like I think they sometimes do $1 donut days,
right.
and $4
It's
boxes,
insane.
something ridiculous, and it's bad. 80-cent donuts?
Yeah.
That's like when you have these people that'll camp out in front of like a brand new Chick-fil-A when they open up, and they're going to give away Chick-fil-A free for
Chicken,
a year.
whatever, yeah.
To,
they're literally sitting like out in there for like 8 days.
Yeah, to the first
Like,
the first 100 people. Are you really that hungry for the Chick-fil-A?
I'm just like, if you'll just stop screwing up traffic, I'll buy you some chicken nuggets, brother. I'm not above all that.
Okay, you heard it. Chicken nuggets on Rob Sanders.
That's the everybody's be beating down the door. Rob said he'd give me chicken. No. I said I would buy you chicken nuggets there, Swan.
There we go.
There we go.
All right, man. Get back over there and get to work. You got work to do.
I do have work to do.
Hold on. How's the new podcast? Tell people about what you got going on. You got a little podcast action going.
I started a podcast with my good buddy, the Comrade Michael Dubreski. We call him the Comrade because I got to be completely honest with you. Clemson fans despise Michael Dubreski. He was the story behind this guy really quick. He was like fourth-string quarterback behind Steve Tannehill when Tannehill was a freshman, etc. They both came in their freshman year.
Oh, wow.
And apparently Michael was a pretty good quarterback up north, but as we know, when you come to the South where football is king, you could be great up north, but you're not as great down south. So he became the second-string scout team quarterback, which is what he eventually ended up doing. But he does know football, and it is kind of cool because we're both we try to be witty guys, and
emphasis on try.
We try, and but we try to do the podcast together, and it's you can follow us on go subscribe on iTunes. It's at Robin Comrade Show.
Yeah,
and you can go and listen to us, and basically we just beat each other in the face about Clemson is better or Carolina is better.
I haven't had a chance to listen yet. I've been busy over the past couple of days at the ACC Media kickoff, but I'm going to do that. Let me ask you this. You had a chance, I'm sure, to hear some of our day yesterday up at the ACC kickoff.
Yeah.
We don't take this show on the road probably as much as we should.
No.
I thought it went really well. You're a producer, you're a production guy. You appreciate high-quality audio, let's be honest.
I do.
I thought Lowell did well back here. I thought the show sounded good.
Lowell is I love Lowell the intern. We have created him in our own image.
He is our little monster.
He is our clone. We love Lowell. Shout out to Zach over there doing his job because the stuff that he's putting up on ClemsonSportsTalk.com is amazing. I mean, it's all of your Clemson news. You go there and you get it from somebody who actually cares and is going to give you a journalistic perspective of it, and it's just ready to go. So shout out to Zach out there for that, and follow him with some of the stuff he does on Facebook Live because he takes questions about stuff. The other day I watched some of the stuff that he was doing about the big thing with Trevor Lawrence coming in and the freshman quarterback we have now, Hunter Johnson.
Sure.
As he called it, the Hunter Johnson Trevor Lawrence saga, as I think the terminology he used, because that may be something we have to go with next year. We got Trevor Lawrence coming in. What if Hunter Johnson takes over game 2, wins out, takes the Tigers to the national championship game?
Oh, wow.
Are you going to tell this young man,
all in?
Trevor Lawrence is here, so stinks to be you. I mean, that's something that could theoretically happen. You never know.
Yeah.
But it is really cool to have him on board with us, and it's, I say with us, I mean, it's your thing. I mean, we told you that, but I think it's everybody's thing, But
right,
this is SportsTalk.com.
I've always said, Rob, this is the people's show.
It's the people's show, but you're the head honcho.
Well,
you don't like hearing that.
The bald head honcho.
Well, Erica's the head honcho. I don't want to mess with her.
Let's be honest about this.
Let's be honest.
The CEO in charge of things back home. I do again want to thank Bill Hancock for being a part of the program, and Dabo Swinney. Both interviews will be up on our website, ClemsonSportsTalk.com, just after the show ends. Rob, final question for you. Big plans this weekend. What's going on with the family?
The family is actually down in Myrtle Beach, and I have to do my my award-winning home doctor show, voted the best home doctor show in the Midlands, because we are the only home doctor show in the Midlands. But my buddy Wayne Whiteside takes care of your house from 560 AM.
I know Wayne.
Yeah, you know Wayne. He does a show with us over there on 560 AM. Questions about your house.
Tell Wayne we need a home show sponsor over here. Somebody's fixing them homes.
Yeah, okay. We can get into that.
Oh, come on.
No, but I mean,
Wayne, if you're listening, hookabrotherup.com.
He's gonna. It's funny because he did send me a message the other day, and he said that he wanted to. He may sponsor the Rob and Comrade Show podcast. We never know.
What? Those guys are terrible. Have you not met?
I know those
Rob
guys are
and
horrible.
Conrad?
They're horrible. I mean, and Michael's like the backup scout team quarterback.
Yeah.
But, hey, whatever.
Yeah, Rob's like the backup scout team production guy.
I know,
at
right?
iHeart.
I'm like that's the big joke with Gary David and I in the morning. I am the B team guy. It's like I can do all kinds of things great, but I'm not good enough to take over the A team guy. So I can just it's sort of like your favorite wrestling tag team where you have like Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. I'm your Marty Jannetty. I'm the Marty Jannetty of radio.
The Marty Jannetty of radio. Rob Sanders in the production realm. Lawton Swan again. Interviews with Dabo Swinney, executive director of the College Football Playoff. Bill Hancock will be up over on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. Just after this, you can subscribe to our podcast as well. As always, until next time, y'all take care now. And go Tigers!
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
For 20